How much and what kind of privacy are we entitled to as married people? It's gonna be different between couples and culture, but in all arrangements you'll always have your thoughts you can choose to share or not. That's a discussion you need to have with your partner, not the internet. My husband uses my phone and I use his. I would let him go through my phone if he wanted. I don't mind. But I would not read his private message and he wouldn't read mine. Because sometimes friends tell you things and don't want you to tell your husband/wife. But sometimes I have the feeling that people on Reddit exaggerate when it comes to privacy. Your husband cheated 10 years with hookers. That's bad, but you taking his phone is worse. Even in marriage, you're still allowed bathroom privacy sometimes. Yes, everyone is entitled to privacy, and privacy is absolutely important part of a healthy marriage. In our marriage we respect privacy of each other. Although we know each other's passwords, we never snoop through the phones, computers, etc. I have nothing to hide from my wife. The stuff I do or for instance write on Reddit may be private, but it is not hurtful or damaging to my wife. Respect and personal space of Rio needs some privacy. The most important thing is, marriage is not one being one soul, it is a chosen union between two independent, autonomous individuals. I don't know the passwords to most of my devices, social media accounts, etc., and vice versa. Don't need to, don't want to. I don't keep any particular track of who she hangs out with or what she and her friends do, and vice versa. Obviously, we do talk a lot about that, in a how was your day, what did y'all get up to, anything funny interesting happen kind of way, but that's it. I believe in a very strong right and expectation of privacy. In any healthy relationship, that shouldn't be a problem at all. Nobody wants to live under a surveillance state. I trust so. In general, I think if this level of trust doesn't exist, one's marriage is already doomed. There was a post yesterday where a mom with a 14-year-old child shared that her husband went out with friends and didn't text her back fast enough about a non-urgent matter, and the comments overwhelmingly crapped on the guy, and made all kinds of disgusting accusations about him. Obviously divorce was constantly floated as the appropriate way to deal with it. As much privacy as you need. The only right answer. As much as you want. I think that's up to each couple, but for me, it's about respecting boundaries and having open communication. The same amount as anyone else. I guess you have the right to not testify against your spouse? That's the only thing I can think of. This is something you should specifically agree with your partner about before you marry them. A lot, but not so much that Robert can't use his bathroom. You should just communicate with your partner about it. You are entitled to all the privacy if you need it. That's something you will decide as a couple. But I find it weird when a part of the couple refuses most of the things, saying I have a right to privacy. Like my husband and I use each other's phone when needed, but we would not go through them, if you know what I mean. I will text his friends when he is driving what he asks me to text them, but I won't scroll up to read the rest of the chat. Or he will take my phone to pay the bills or something. But he won't check my bank statement unless we are looking for something together. Only privacy I ask from him is to close the door when he's peeing. I've never even had the desire to look through someone's shit when I'm dating them. I can't be bothered to wonder what they are up to if they are not in my immediate vicinity. I'm not gonna be popular here, but I think devices are off limits. I think privacy exists there. We aren't children, and if you're concerned enough to go through their phone, I reckon that's enough evidence. You can and should be able to use your spouse's phone, but this mom-style combing through someone's private messages and accounts is psychotic. You shouldn't be married if you're constantly insecure like that. Personal journal or phone conversations. We must always respect that boundary. That's a conversation you and your spouse should have together. Everyone and every couple is different. We don't go on each other's phones or electronic devices, especially without asking. We don't know each other's passcodes because we don't need to. We both think phones and laptops are personal devices, and although I've nothing to hide, I wouldn't feel comfortable with my spouse going on my phone. I have embarrassing journaling notes that are private, progress pics from the gym, conversations that don't concern my spouse with my friends, i.e. if someone is telling me something personal or in confidence, my Reddit account, etc. We also don't ask each other about specifics regarding our individual therapy. If we want to share with each other or talk about something, we do. We both respect and understand we need alone time with friends or to do hobbies, etc. We also knock on closed doors. We don't just barge into each other's spaces. Lock doors when in the bathroom most of the time, especially if we are pooping. Saying that, it's important to communicate openly and honestly and share how you're feeling about things. It's a balance to coexist and also appreciate that you're two separate people with different wants and needs. Edit, sentence,